A very good morning, dear students. I welcome you all to today's period, and today also we are going to discuss or continue about chapter 3 of civics, that is, why do we need a parliament. So in our previous period we have discussed about the features of Indian Parliament. So Indian Parliament, which was formed in 1947, and it consists of 543 members of the parliament. And parliament is basically it is made up of the representative which are been representative of different political parties. And the parliament is consist of two houses. One is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Then we also have discussed about the history of Indian Parliament, or we can say the why do we need a parliament. So we have seen that India have been under the colonial rule, and after the nationalists they have came forward for criticizing British. They have realized the importance of equality, freedom, and also to choose their own representatives. So that's why they have come in forward criticizing the British government, or you can say British rule. And after that they also have when the India got independent, the hopes and aspirations of the people were presented in concrete form in the Indian constitution. So that is the reason that Indian constitution has formed, and it is for the people of the country as well, because the representative which are being elected or selected, they are by the people only. So in a democratic type of country like India, we have a parliament which is basically includes, or who tries to uh, fulfill the needs and aspirations of the people of that country. And in today's period we are going to discuss about people and their representatives. Representatives means those whom are being selected by the people in their own constituencies. So what is a constituency means? Constituency is the area where every individual or every citizen can vote to different political leaders who are from different political parties. They can choose any one of them. So that is a constituency, or an area where voters are allowed to vote for different, they have to choose or they have to elect their own representative in that area itself. So now, people and their representative, it includes our democracy is the idea of consent. Consent means kind of agreement, kind of decision or agreement which is being made. So a democracy is the idea of consent. It is the agreement of the people as well. So agreement regarding the desire of the people, then the approval, and also the participation of people. So democracy does not only include whatever government want, but it also includes the people aspirations, their wish, their approval, and participation of the people are very much important, because in a democracy leaders are elected by the people only. Then it is the decision of the people that creates a democratic government. That's what is the same meaning, that it is the people who, because democracy means what? For the people, of the people, by the people. So it is for the people only. A democratic country is for the people, for the hopes and aspirations of the people. Then it is of the people. Democracy is people's, not like governments especially, or some to some section. It is for every citizen. Then it is by the people. Democracy is formed by the people, because leaders or representatives are elected by the people only. So it is a decision of the people that creates a democratic government and decides about its functioning. And whatever the functioning of the country or requirement of the people, on that basis only the country functions. And that's why democracy is a form of government where decisions are being made by the people indirectly, and it decides the functioning of the country. Then third point about people and their representative is the basic idea in democracy is that the sorry, that the individual or the citizen is the most important person. In a democracy, it is always seen that people at individual level, or we can say the citizens, are most important persons or people. People are the most important one. Every citizen is an important person, that in the principle the government to form the government, as well as the public institutions. To run various public institutions, individual is very important and need to have the trust of these citizens, and that's why everybody must have, or the government also must have trust in these citizens, because they are only deciding the representative, they are only choosing the government, or we can say the ruling party, or we can say the leaders. Then fourth point is that the parliament, which is made up of all the representatives together from different political parties, they control and guides the government, because government is only the ruling party, but parliament consists of all the various parties representatives, and they among themselves decides with respect to the people's choices or people aspirations and desires. They decide, they work on it, and then they control the guides and control and guides the government. So guidelines have been provided by the parliament, which consists of all the representatives of different political parties. Okay, and then a ruling party has to follow those guidelines which are being made by the parliament, the members of the parliament. So now next is the role of the parliament. What are the various role played by the parliament of the India? So Indian parliament is an expression of the faith that the people of India have in their principles of democracy. So parliament is the expression of faith, because people do believe in the parliament, or we can say do believe in the constitution of India, uh, because they have a faith that the representatives, whatever they are doing, or the leaders or the government, whatever they are doing for the sake of the people only. So that's why the Indian parliament is the expression of the faith of the people, the faith that people have for the government, for the parliament, for the constitution, in principles of the democracy, which is considering the principles of democracy, that is for the people, of the people, and by the people. The parliament in our system has immense power. The parliament of our country has immense power, because all the representatives, they decide the rules and guidelines of every citizen as well as the government. So the parliament is our system that has immense power, because it is the representatives of the people. Another thing is that because they are the representative of the people, everyone or every citizen cannot go and sit together and decide, okay, because it will be a chaos. That's why we are selecting our representative, one particular person from one constituency. So those representatives are presented by the people only, and that's why the parliament in our system has a immense power, because it is the representatives which are chosen by the people. Third one is the Lok Sabha is elected once every 5 years. We already know Lok Sabha election held after every 5 years, and the country is divided into a number of constituencies. Number of constituencies means we know already an area where various political parties representatives are being in as the candidates, and people have to elect any one of them. So a country is divided into a number of constituencies. Each of these constituencies one elect one person to the parliament. So whoever is the winner, so it includes the member of the parliament. Suppose in a constituency we have the parties like BJP, then AGP, then Congress, then some other parties. Okay, so out of that, suppose the winner is the Congress, but government is formed by the BJP. But in that particular constituency, if the Congress leader, or sorry, Congress representative is being elected in that particular region, he will become the representative of the parliament. Okay, it doesn't matter which is the ruling party or which is the main at the central government, maybe it's BJP, but the elected, or the you can say the selected representatives become the member of the parliament. Then once elected, the candidates become member of the parliament, MPs, we call them MPs. So once the person, or once a candidate is being elected, he become the member of the parliament. So these MPs together make up the parliament, and these MPs together make up the parliament, and they discuss among themselves, they decide the rules as well as guidelines for the government and the people. Then what are the functions of the parliament? So India has numerous constituencies, large number of constituencies are there, various numbers of constituencies, various areas it is found. So each of these constituencies elect only one person to the parliament who is being the winner. Then the candidate who contest elections usually belong to different political parties. So it is different political, candidates are from different political parties. So every constituency, the the leader or the representative may be different, because winner may be the different one and he become the representative. Then these candidates become members of the parliament. Once election to the parliament have taken place, the parliament needs to perform the following functions. So once the election to the parliament have been taken, means like once the representative who are being elected, or the representative of the parliament who get into that parliament, they have to perform the following functions. And today we are going to represent only one, and present only one, that is to select the national government. First they have to select the national government, and our parliament consists of the president, the Rajya Sabha and the Lok Sabha. So in our next period we shall be discussing about the functions of the parliament. We will continue with that. And for today we have just discussed about the role of the parliament and the people and their representatives. So basically what happened, in a democracy, it is a consent of the people, because people elect the representatives of the parliament, and the parliament is formed of the elected representatives who decides or who form the rules and guidelines for the people and the government. And the parliament is an expression of the fate of the people, because in a democracy people are electing the representatives and they have faith on their own representatives who will be working for the people's sake. And the parliament of ours in India is a system of immense power, because these representatives are elected, or it is among the people only. So representatives of the people, so he has to look after the people's aspires and desires. Then Lok Sabha is being elected in every 5 years, and the country is divided into numbers of constituencies. Each constituencies has elect one person to the parliament. So once the elected candidates become the member of the parliament, these MPs together make up the parliament. Okay, so this is all about for today's class. Hope you all have understood. Please go through the points. Thank you so much. Thank you.